Calling Podcast, episode number 5. Today I have with me Mr. Gage, the Gremlin Gill, professional fighter, Lucha Bulldog, purple belt with Gracie United, up and coming, about to get that UFC contract. What's up, Gage? How you doing today, man?
All right, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. So, got you on a higher calling podcast, trying to help people find their higher calling or their purpose by hearing other people's story. So today, I want to just hear your story, man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. A
Yeah,
little tired this past week, but
yeah,
we're all good.
yeah. A lot of training going on, huh?
Yeah, training, work, all that.
You you roll on nights tonight, huh?
Nights all weekend, Friday to Sunday.
Woo! Howling at the moon.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it, man. So, who is Gage Gill, and what makes you who you are in your own words?
I mean, I'm just somebody that I just look to have fun. Whatever I do, I want to have fun. That's kind of why I'm always on the go. I'm always going somewhere, doing something, going hang out with friends, or even when I'm home, I'm might be if I'm not just finally chilling, I'll be playing a video game with some friends. But other than that, that's that's me.
Right on. Like, do you still hang around with a lot of the same guys that you were friends with in high school, or what?
Yeah, from time to time.
Yeah.
Kind of some of them are starting to pick up golfing, and I've picked it up a little about a year ago or so.
Yeah,
So
that's
that
about time
golfing
right there.
really, yeah, it is. I'm addicted to it.
It is, man, and it's funny because you're sitting there chasing that little white ball down that long green over there, and you're just trying to get in that little hole, and it's
Yeah,
it's the hardest thing in the world. It really is.
yeah. So 1 minute you can have the best shot of your life, and the next shot you're cursing and can't stop.
That's right. Yeah. Have you ever heard that Robin Williams do that skit about golf?
Yeah, I did actually. It's funny.
That's the
I
funniest
love
thing.
that.
We're gonna play a joke on him. We're gonna tell him how you take this little ball and you go all the way down there in the smallest hole ever, and you gotta use this little bitty stick to get it there.
Uh huh.
And I was just like, that is the best analogy I've ever heard for golf in my life.
It really was.
Yeah, yeah. But that's cool, man. A lot of hanging around with friends and a lot of good fellowship time. That's what you're into.
Yep.
Yeah, competitive guy.
Very competitive.
That's a good thing.
Everything I do is a competition.
I see that. Nothing wrong with it.
Yep.
Uh, what's a funny story about your life or journey so far?
I have a funny story about my last something that happened after my last amateur fight. So I'm a, I guess you would say I'm a big drinker whenever I have the time. So I had my last amateur fight. I won in 52 seconds, didn't get touched, and then immediately people are giving me drinks and stuff, after or whatnot.
Party time,
Um,
huh?
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So we go back to the house or whatever we're staying at, get changed, and we get out to the Hard Rock, the club, the Hard Rock Live, and we're in the VIP section, and they had some rich dude, I guess, buying shots for the whole section, and they just kept coming and kept coming. One of my buddies that was with me, they already know, or they thought they knew how I could get off of shots, but I kept telling him no. He kept trying to give me his shots instead of taking his own.
Uh huh.
And I was like, no, you don't. I'm not doing that. He was like, just take it. And I'm like, do you want that guy to come out? He said, bring him out. So I said, okay, I warned
Uh huh.
you.
Uh huh.
And so I started taking them, doing walrus chugs and all that stuff, and then next thing you know, um, they're carrying me out,
Oh
and
Lord.
then as we're leaving or whatever, I just now I don't really remember all this that well, but from what
Uh-huh.
they told me, I just
Word on
took
word
off.
on the streets.
Yeah, yeah. I just took off and I started running. And I tried jumping over this trash can or something, and I landed bad, and I sprained
Oh.
my ankle. I sprained my
Oh
ankle, and I was
Jesus.
out for several months, having to do physical therapy. Wore a boot for like 2 weeks, and that's like the
Oh.
most serious injury I've ever gotten from
And that's
that.
after the fight at the bar.
Yeah, after the
Oh
fight. Yep.
Jesus. That's tough. Lord bless him. Huh? Yeah. So the recovery time was like 7 months, huh?
Yeah, it was somewhere around 5 to 7 months.
Any recurring problems because of it?
No, I don't even notice like I've ever done
That's
anything
good.
to it.
Yeah. Well, I'm a
That
little bit old.
when I first got it, everybody was like, "Oh, you're gonna have problems forever now." Blah blah blah. I'm like, I guess, and then I get it all healed up, and I'm like, what are y'all talking about?
Well, and I'm a little bit older, man. I'm in my 40s, and I messed up my ankles a little bit when I was younger. And I used to be about 240. And when I was a little bit heavier on the hoof, I could still mess up my ankles from time to time. But I lost a little bit of weight. I'm around 200 and not as many injuries. So you're a little bit lighter than me. So you probably don't have as
Yeah,
much not as much weight on the hoof, you know?
yeah.
Well, good, man. I'm
And
glad to hear
I
that.
thought about that too. Like maybe that might be a factor or whatever, but
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I just got lucky. I don't know.
absolutely. Yeah, that's a heck of a time at the bar. You take off running, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so where'd you come from, and what got you into fighting?
Uh, well, I mean, I'm pretty much lived in Lutcher my whole life, and I saw the Ultimate Fighter. I think it was on TV when I was like 14 or 15, and I was like, yeah, I want to do that. Told my parents, brought it up to them, and he's like, absolutely not. You are stupid if you want to think you're gonna do that.
They ain't want their baby to get
And
hurt.
yeah, of course, sure.
Right.
They didn't let me play football when I was younger for that reason, which I mean, that's whatever at this point. But that was kind of my argument. Like, y'all ain't want me to play football. Y'all won't let me do this. Blah blah blah. But I brought it up to him several occasions, and of course, it was all the same response. But I was like, whenever I turn 18, I'm gonna do it anyways. And sure enough, when I turned several months after turning 18, I had this opportunity come up because my buddy was like, he started going to his gym from his uncle or something, and I was like, well, let me go with you. And so I went there, signed up, and was doing it for about 3 or 4 months before my parents even knew I was doing it.
You didn't come home with any
And
black eyes or anything, huh?
I did not. No, I did not. I was
Yeah.
not
So
allowed to. I was not allowed to spar yet in that time frame.
yeah, that's good. You come home with that black eye, be like, "What happened?" Oh, me and my buddy were drinking.
Yeah, yeah,
That's funny. Sneaking out to go fight, huh?
yep,
That's cool, man. You got it in your heart, man. Because they didn't have the UFC whenever I was young and probably 18 years old. They had a lot of wrestling, and we used to watch that. And my teenage years, we used to get all fired up and watch wrestling and watch some boxing or whatever. We end up fighting in the living room, but you know,
yeah. It always gets your blood pumping just watching it.
competition is naturally exciting for men.
Yep.
And it's just my wife asked me one time, she's like, "Why are you and your son so aggressive?" I said, "Guys just are. That's how they are." Like two guys would be walking in the woods, and one will pick up a stick, the other one would be like, "Nice stick, I need one." And next thing you know, they
Yeah. Yeah.
yep. How old were you when you started training? 18.
Yeah. I was 18.
How old are you now?
I just turned 25.
Man, I wish I had them years back, huh? That's a good time to be alive.
I hear you.
Yeah, man. Record as a fighter, 6-0. How did most of these wins come? Knockouts, TKOs, decisions?
The first two were submissions, and then the rest have been TKOs, knockouts.
Nice. Got a set of hands on you, huh?
I'd like to think so.
That's right. That's right. Hey, speaking in existence, baby. Any close calls in the fight so far? Any of them kind of went the distance? You kind of worried about the opponents?
Not in any of my pro fights.
Okay.
I mean, I had I had an amateur fight that I was worried about the decision
Oh, really?
because once they started announcing it, I was worried because I thought I had won, which I mean it was a good fight, but I thought I did. I was pretty confident I got the fight won, but the judges were all completely different. One gave him 4 rounds and me one. The other judge gave me all 5 rounds, and then the last judge gave him three to my two. So it was all over the place.
Was that your toughest opponent so far?
Uh,
Or who was your toughest opponent so far?
it's tough to say. I mean, my toughest fight. I mean, I guess you consider it toughest opponent, but I was also very green then too. It was my second fight. Second fight was my toughest fight by far
Okay.
because I was coming off of my first fight was that was also 52 seconds, and I won in 52 seconds, and then the next fight was a title fight, and it was scheduled for 5 rounds. I had no idea what it felt like to go even past the first minute, really, and then it ended up going 5 rounds, and
Going the
I
distance, huh?
was I was completely exhausted.
Gas.
I
Uh huh.
went into I went into the stool in between the third and fourth round. Had no idea what round we was going to, and I asked Kurt what round we going to. He said the fourth, and I was just like in my head. I was like, no way. I was like, it's got to be the fifth. I was I was
You were hoping it
exhausted.
was the fifth.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm running out of gas, coach.
yeah. Exactly.
Dude. And I mean, the fight game is serious, man, because most street fights, they last maybe a minute. And
Yeah,
dude, whenever you're rolling and you're going, full speed, 5 minutes is a long time. And
hundred
like we
percent.
like we train and like marathon roll, 10 rolls, 5 minutes roll, and man, I can't tell you how many times I wanted to throw up after that stuff. And it's just, you leave everything out there. And I can only imagine if you're actually in a professional fight, how much energy you're gonna be expelling out there.
Yeah. Well, it's also you got to learn when to be able to save some energy, when you can use some more, and finding those rest periods.
Yeah. And so is Kurt your corner man
Yeah,
most of the
Kurt and
time?
David.
Okay.
Yep.
Good, man. That's some good guys you got in your corner. You learned a lot from them.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
they've been through it already.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's always good to learn from people that've been down the path where you're going. Was Kurt in the beginning with you, or who started you getting into the to fight game? Who did you start training with? I
Uh,
guess
I started training at the Hammond Gym when I was in Ponchatoula
okay.
with Matt
With how?
Stock.
Okay, yeah. That's
Yeah, Rafael owned that gym, but the MMA class was
that's
Matt
stock.
Stock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's good people, man. Tell me about struggles coming up to the fight. Any struggles going to the fight, before the fight, any fight?
Yeah. The one that I can think of is my my pro fight in Homa against Tyler Listy. I can't remember if I was just struggling that whole couple days leading up, or if it was just the day before weigh-ins, and and all the way up to the fight. But I think it was the day before weigh-ins. I hadn't got much sleep, and then you know I'm low on energy and not eating much. Feel kind of shitty, and I couldn't really sleep that good that night either. And then woke up early. I ain't cut much weight, but I cut my weight and went to the weigh-ins, did all that, and we had a bunch of people staying at the house. And come nighttime, I was still struggling. I couldn't really sleep. There was some people that were staying up late, whatever, and I just couldn't really find a way to get some good sleep.
Hmm.
So that was that. And then I usually like to, on fight days, I wake up somewhat early, get some breakfast, come back, get a good nap, and I'll be feeling good the rest of the day. Tried to lay down for the nap for like 2 hours. I couldn't sleep. So then that was kind of getting worse, and then I was getting irritable with everybody, and
Yeah, like
but
Betty White.
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
so we get to the event, and I'm just starting to. I was the last fight. I'm feeling it. I'm like, man, I gotta get some caffeine or something.
Hmm.
You know, go get some caffeine. Got me feeling all right for a little bit, but gets closer to the fight, and I'm like, man, I'm tired. And it was just a mental thing that had to get over because I mean, once you get moving and get back moving and
Oh yeah, the blood
warming
pumping.
up, getting your blood pumping, yeah, you'll feel better, but you just can't let that mental part take over. That bad portion.
Yeah,
Had to. It was another fight before the fight.
the struggle coming up to the fight, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. You
So
ever
I mean
you ever pray
that's what I would say.
you ever pray before the fights?
Whenever I'm passing to go to the gym and stuff, there's a big cross along the highway. Every now and then I'll say a little prayer about the fight coming up and just
That's right.
wish to wish for God to let me fight to my best ability and come out as injury free as I can.
Absolutely, man. Well, like the gifts you got, he gave them to you. So if you ask him for something,
Yep.
he will give it to you. And the reason why I was asking that is like whenever I struggle with something like not being able to rest or not having enough energy, sometimes I just gotta pray, and he comes through because I couldn't do it. But but yeah. Oh, and also, Jocko said that whenever you're tired, do some burpees because you ain't tired after you do burpees.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. It works because it's really hard to take a nap after you just did about 20 burpees. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, Tell me about your next upcoming fight. You're supposed to be heading up to Canada to fight somebody, huh?
Yep. Toronto against a guy named Cody Chavancek, 6 and
Okay.
0, just like me. He's got a couple finishes,
Yeah.
but not as many as me. Or I don't think he's fought guys that are as good as the guys I've fought as of recently.
Okay.
Um, I definitely don't think he definitely fought anyone as good as me, as powerful and quick. But I
That's what I'm
mean,
talking about.
he's good too. You don't get 6 and 0 for nothing. But
That's right.
I believe him to be too quick, too sharp, and like I said on an interview before, once he feels my power, he's not gonna want to stand up no more. He's gonna want to
Go to the
be
ground, huh?
tackling the legs.
Hey,
Yep.
just tell him to stay down there and lay there for a little while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get him, baby. Hey, I hope it goes good, man. Tell me about your training regimen.
Kind of revolves around work.
Yeah.
Uh, if I work nights, I kind of just find time to. get a little something in, like a little bit of running or some shadow boxing, jump rope, something like that. Sometimes I'll go run after I get off a night shift at 5 in the morning. But whenever I'm not on nights, I'm off. It's a regular day. I might, depending on the day, I might have a two a day. At 11 in the morning and then 6:30. When I work days, I gotta wake up at 3:45 and then I'll work till 5 o'clock and drive to the gym, train at 6:30, get home about 10 o'clock ish, and then do it over again. Wake up at 3:45 again and repeat.
Wake, rinse, repeat, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
That's good. And I mean, do you try to train every day?
yeah. I try to train every day. I mean, I kind of give the weekends rest time and
Yeah,
me time.
that's right. You got to. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just because I'd be honest with you, me being in my 40s, I can't go hard 4 or 5 days a week. I just can't. Like not with jiu-jitsu. I could do some strength training, but like
Mm-hmm.
it starts to injure me because I don't recover as fast as you younger guys do. So, but
Right.
I mean props because I know y'all got to push yourselves because we've got a lot of fighters in our gym and I see y'all guys in there and that's a lot of work because even right after jiu-jitsu class, go to MMA class and I'm like, y'all doing two and one. So if you're doing that
Yep.
5 days a week, that's strong. Good man, good. So this is going to be a pretty big fight up there, huh? What does this fight mean to you?
Well, it's a 5 round main event title fight. I mean, winning a belt in a pretty big organization that's outside of your top organizations
Yeah,
means something. If it were to go to the distance or go to three or more rounds, that would prove that I have that stamina and stuff to other people because I believe I have it. They just haven't seen me go past the first round um, since turning pro. So
really. Okay.
yeah, it's all been first round finishes since I've turned pro. But
That
I
means you
know,
just
I know,
that means you just knock them out like Tyson, you know?
yeah, yeah, yep, that's it. I try
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. So what belt does he have right now?
It's a vacant belt. It's
So
he's
nobody
their guy,
nobody
obviously.
has it?
No, nobody has it.
Okay.
But he's fought for their promotion several times, so they're obviously trying to push for him to get it and help him out. But I think they should have chose a different opponent.
Okay. So you're pretty confident on this one.
Well, I gotta have confidence. I
You got
can't
to. You can't show up with your head
can't
down.
go in there can't go in there and think I'm gonna lose.
That's right.
Gotta
That's right.
gotta speak the win into existence.
That's right. Hey, speak it into existence, man. That's what I'm talking about. Is this your first time out the country?
Yeah, for a fight it is.
Okay. You've been out of country on vacation, but never out there for a fight, huh?
Yeah, I mean I went on a cruise to Mexico if you want to count that.
I mean, it is. Yeah. I mean, I've been to the cruise part of Mexico, but Mexico is a little bit different. But it's funny
Right,
when
right.
you go on a cruise and the boat pulls up in the harbor. It's like all the natives come out of the bushes. You know what I mean? And everybody comes out, and as the
Uh,
ship's leaving, everybody goes back.
yeah,
So you think this fight could possibly mean a contract for you moving up to the UFC or anything, or what?
I think it'll give me a Dana White Contender Series contract, and then I got to fight for the real contract.
That's what I'm talking about. So this is a good stepping stone. Well, blessings and luck on you,
So
brother. I hope
is.
you do it, baby. I'm gonna be cheering for you. And what days that
Thank you.
fight supposed to be taking place?
June 14th, next Friday.
Next Friday. Okay. Tell me about high school sports. What kind of sports did you play in high school? I'm assuming you didn't
Uh,
do any fighting in high school except recreationally outside.
Correct. Um, we
That's
didn't
good,
have
good
no
stuff.
wrestling at Lutcher, but if they had that, I would have did it. But
Heck yeah.
other than that, I played baseball my whole life, swam my whole life, played soccer for majority of my life. I quit from seventh grade, and then in seventh grade, and then I played again my senior year. So I played soccer, and then I did powerlifting in high school too.
Nice. Good power sports. That's why you're such a good athlete, man. Sound like you did a lot of cardio conditioning sports.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yep.
You
They
swam a
all
little
had
bit?
their own benefits. Huh?
Oh yeah. You swam a little bit?
Yeah. I was pretty good. You know, my senior year, I finished third in state in freestyle, 50
Oh, you
free.
little Michael Phelps,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, if I had that height on me, I might have been something else.
Dude, they said that's why he's such a good swimmer because his upper body's so huge. You know what I mean? He just flies through the water. He's built for that stuff.
Yep, it's them that wingspan.
Absolutely, absolutely. All about them wings. You can fly. But when they start calling you the Gremlin,
Like 3 years ago, David and them started calling me. My coach David started calling me the Gremlin. Uh, I don't really know exactly the reason or how he came about doing that. I guess that would be a good thing to ask at some point, but I
I think
haven't.
you need.
Um,
And you said you watched the movie or whatever. Ask him, is it because of Gizmo or because of Stripe? You know,
yeah, but I mean, I was trying to not accept it for a while, and then I finally gave in,
you got to, man. Whenever
and
somebody gives
now it's my name.
absolutely, man. And whenever somebody gives you a nickname, it's like a term of endearment, and you never like it at first, but that's just to mess with you to see what kind of heart you got. If you could take a joke or not.
Of course,
That's good, man. What so what do you feel like is the calling on your life?
I guess fighting. I
Fighting?
think. I mean, yeah. I mean, it seems to be what I'm best at.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I don't really know what else I would do at this point.
Sure.
I mean,
You're trying
obviously,
to be
there's always options to do other stuff, but
yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
I don't know what else would excite me as much or anything like that.
No, I mean it's raw adrenaline out there, and I'm sure whenever you walking up to that ring and you getting pumped up and you hear the music and you see the people cheering and hollering and everything, and I've been to one of your fights, I've been to a few of the fights, and dude, it's a pumping experience. I've seen you up on the top of that cage or whatever, throwing them hands, letting everybody know you pumped, huh?
Yep, yep.
Dude, that's a feeling.
It's yeah, it's undescribable.
Yeah, man. Tell me about your top three influencers that you have in your life. There's people you know, people you follow, and tell me how you keep your cup full and keep pushing when it's showtime.
I don't know. I don't really have anybody that's someone I don't know. I would say some of my coaches are big influencers to me. The ones that have done it, the ones that are there and to encourage me and keep my spirits up whenever we're getting close to go time. Always just saying, keeping it positive. I trust all their words more than mine, I guess, sometimes because
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of how I go about taking fights. I don't ever accept my own fight. I ask them what they think about it first, and if they like it, then we go for it.
Right. And I
Uh,
heard and I heard Kurt talking about that
yes,
the other day. He's like, you got to be kind of careful who you take fights with because somebody will kind of set you up with a fight with an opponent that'll throw you off. And
yep,
I know he's got a lot of experience with that stuff. So your coaches are your big influencers.
Yeah,
That's good.
I
And
got
I
I
see.
got I got more than three coaches, so that counts as three.
Absolutely. There's plenty of them. And I see when you come to A to train or whatever, like you and Kurt, y'all go at it or whatever, and I see he likes to push you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
He
good,
likes
man.
to
He just
mess with me.
yeah, yeah. That's funny, man. I always see I see him messing with you, and all I could do is laugh. I said, "Hey, y'all want to see that move again?" And it was like, "Yeah, one more time."
Uh-huh. He
Oh,
likes to choke me out. Yeah.
oh, I know. I'll watch him, and all I could do is smile whenever I see him do it. He says, "Y'all want to see that choke again?"
He's always
Uh,
doing a
yeah,
little extra on what he would do somebody else too.
a little extra cross face for you, you know?
Yeah, a little extra choke, a little extra pressure on the choke.
That's right. You got to, huh? He just toughen you up, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
He don't want you to be
Yeah, of
soft when you get
course.
out there. That's right. Tell me
Uh-huh.
about the, tell me about a professional fighter's mindset. What does it take to be prepared mentally to get into the ring?
I believe everybody goes about it a little differently. It's just kind of, I guess, who you are and what gets you to perform that to where you need to. Me, I like to have nerves. I like the nerves whenever I'm getting into the fight and all that because I feel like it heightens my senses, keeps me on edge.
So you like to be a little nervous.
Uh, yeah, if I'm not feeling nerves, I do what I can to try and give myself nerves. I don't. It's just I don't know. I kind of found that out after a short notice amateur fight that I took and went to Michigan. That was the first fight I actually had those nerves, and after that, I wanted that same feeling for every
Right.
fight.
You
So
got to be in a happy place when you get there. That's
yeah, I
inspiring.
mean, it's not like it's not nerves that make me happy
Yeah,
or upset or whatever. It's just I don't know. It gets me shaken, and I don't know. I just I didn't have those nerves in any previous fights before that. It was just I was calm and confident, which confident is good, but I was too calm, so I didn't really. I don't know. I feel like that had a factor in the losses I took before that.
I got you.
So ever since then, I've tried to replicate those nerves.
Yeah, and I've heard it sometimes not described as nervousness, call it excitement. And you want to be excited to
Yeah.
get to that because that adrenaline's pumping, and your body is ready, and your eyes are wide open. So you definitely want that going into a
Mm-hmm.
fight. You want to be fully aware. That's the mindset.
That's it.
Good deal.
Yep.
So, any other sports besides fighting?
Uh,
Golf?
golf. A lot of
Okay.
golf.
Yeah. How how many times do you play a week?
Uh, whenever I didn't have a fight scheduled, I was playing at least 2 or 3 times a week if the weather allowed.
Yeah. You don't
So
want to play right
I
now.
was getting
But
after it.
yeah, but at fall and
Yeah.
springtime, it's beautiful, huh? Where do y'all
Yeah.
usually go
I mean,
play at?
I'm wherever, but majority of the time it's in La Place at Riverlands or Belterre, just because it's well not Belterre, but Riverlands is cheaper,
Oh yeah,
and we can kind of sneak around when we finish 18 and play some more if we want to.
that's right. Get some lanyap out of it.
Yep, yep.
That's right. What
And it's fun. I like to make it interesting. If the person I'm playing with is on similar skill level, we like to get some bets going. Play
Okay,
for
okay.
a little money.
There you go.
Kurt
How
took
much?
my money last time.
Come on. Kurt could play a little bit.
Yeah, I mean he knew it. I knew he was. I don't remember why I accepted it, but
Yeah.
I did. I knew he was playing better
Don't
than me, but
don't let him pick on you.
no, I'm gonna get his ass. I'm gonna get his ass soon.
That's
He
right.
caught
That's
me
right.
whenever I couldn't control my slice, and
He done slicked it up.
we played at his home course every time.
Yeah, Cam too.
I'm gonna get him at a different course.
That's right. Get him to Riverland.
He's gonna get it. Yep.
Yeah. There you go. That's right. So what's your greatest learning experience so far through this journey that you're on?
I guess I would say my second amateur fight. Kind of talked about that a little bit. I think
Mm-hmm.
with going from the first fight, 52 seconds, not having any idea what it's like to fight for 15 minutes because it was 3 minute rounds at the time in amateur. Not having any idea how to use my energy to push through that bit of tiredness. That's where the mental game came into, and I found that I had that mental toughness, which I always thought I did. That's when I really figured it out. Being so tired, I didn't even know what round I was going to. That in its own, I mean, I feel like anybody could have given up during any of those rounds
Yeah.
if they was that exhausted. But I had to keep pushing forward. I knew he had to be just as tired as me, or maybe even more tired. So it's all about will at that point.
Right. Yeah, they say whenever you're tired that you devolve to the level of your training. And that's why you gotta, practice, drill, rehearse, repeat is so much because whenever you're tired, sometimes you don't even know what to do. Like you can't think about it and your body just kind of reacts. And I'm sure that you might have been in that state right there. And I'm sure that if Kurt was your ring man or whatever, I'm sure he was kind of telling you where you was at. And you gotta
Yep.
almost rely on those people. So that's whenever you found a gremlin or what?
I guess that's whenever he. I guess that's whenever the light of the gremlin started shining first.
That's it. They seen the gremlin come out whenever you was tired.
Yep.
So
The first
that,
glimpse of him.
that glimpse of gremlin, I love it. Yeah. So what's the dream of a young man, a young fighter?
To I mean, to get to my highest potential you know, in life and in fighting. And it's not so like to get to the UFC is just the first goal. Everybody says the easy part is getting into the UFC. I want to
Okay.
be able to I want to be able to stay there and make a name for myself in the UFC. I don't want to be a UFC fighter that some people don't know of. I want to be somebody like the casual fans would know.
Right.
Most casual fans. Everybody knows who Conor McGregor is.
Sure.
Most casual fans know who Dustin Poirier is. Israel Adesanya. People. That's what I mean. Like
Be
I
a
want to be
household name.
known.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, if you get like a big old gremlin tattooed on your chest, man, I think they gon' you know,
That would be a start, huh? That would be something.
hey, Conor McGregor, Sean O'Malley, you see all those guys, they got it up there, and they make the front page with it.
Yeah. Conor
No, man,
McGregor's got a a gorilla eating a heart or something like that.
absolutely. Get that tattooed on your back. They'll remember you. Look at this guy with this tattoo all over his back. Yeah, that's awesome. Just keep doing what you're doing, man. You're doing great. You're tearing them up, man. 6-0. You're about to go knock it out in Canada. Man, you're gonna get there, man. I got faith in you. Law willing, the creek don't rise. We're gonna do this thing, Gage.
Yes, we
Uh,
will.
yeah. So, what's one thing that if you had the opportunity, you would do differently about your journey?
Be able to train at an earlier age, but that's about it. I don't know. I feel like I'm doing pretty much everything I can training wise. So that would be the only thing is to start training earlier and have more skills already. You know,
Yeah. Those
I
natural,
would have had a
those
jump start.
natural instincts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
because
have more skills today if I had started earlier. Is what I'm trying to say.
yeah. No, I know exactly what you're saying because I think I mentioned this. Whatever. I started training when I was 40, and you started training whenever you were 18. And I watched these kids in a gym, and they're super young, 3, 4 years old, and they're just going at it. And I'm just like, look at them go. And I was at the gym Wednesday, and I was watching Little Tornado and Zeke Zayden, and like I'm watching little I'm watching him throw these hands, and I'm like, dude, he is going to be a dog whenever he gets,
Uh huh.
into his teenage years. And just, it's so cool to watch those young kids, and just to watch just the skills that they have that they're doing that stuff at. And like, and I know exactly what you mean, is because those skills are just developing, and it's kind of like after you trained and done something so many times, it just becomes an instantaneous reaction to whatever it is. And it'd be really cool to have that stuff at an earlier age.
100%.
Yeah, man. That's it. Well, I know you're busy, man, and I know you got some lot of stuff to do. I know you about to cut out and go on nights. That's all the questions I have for you, brother. Shout out to you, Gage. I really appreciate you coming on the podcast, helping me out. Episode 5. I'm working on this thing. I'm struggling, but I'm trying to push through it just like you fighting and up and coming, man. So shameless plug time. Tell people how to find you. Talk about your sponsors. Tell people how to support you and follow you on your journey, brother.
Uh, yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Gage Gill. I think my Instagram tag is it's either Gage underscore 17 or Gage underscore 01. Um, Facebook, you just look up my name. I'll shout out Sean, Brignac Mortgage. You know, he's always a support system and sponsor I can that'll help me out with stuff. So shout him out, and that's about it.
Good deal, man. I sure appreciate you once again, Gage. I appreciate you coming on. That's it for me. Higher Calling Podcast. Like and subscribe. Follow Gage on his journey. He's up and coming. He's about to have a shot at the UFC contracts over there. So keep following. Love and respect, y'all.